Got this one recording.
Okay.
And you're recording.
Thank you.
So, we're at the Federal Psychiatric Penitentiary in Saskatoon. We're going to do some videoing here.
Yeah, seems like it's a nice calm day. Not too much wind, a little bit. So if we can get a sacred fire permit and put the teepee up,
Hey?
if we can get a sacred fire permit,
Yeah.
put a 14-foot teepee up, hopefully right on 20th Street, I think that would get an awful lot of attention. And we'd have to man it all the time for two reasons. The fire can never go out because it's sacred, and also because somebody would destroy or steal vandalize the teepee if we weren't there. So there'll be like, I was thinking of having everybody spaced apart for COVID. Spaced around the teepee, not too close.
Yeah.
And nobody in the teepee, just outside of it. And then the sacred fire, which will get everybody's attention.
Okay.
In the city limits. And then I want to know what we're doing there and why we're there. But we'd have to, I think we'd have to be real careful about getting a crowd.
Yeah.
Because of COVID. We don't
So
want a crowd.
we're both live,
Mhm.
and Bernie is with me, and he's blind, so he's going to be doing blind audits with me.
That's right.
You're watching Heidi Ho, Canadian freedom fighter, on YouTube, and we're recording live on Facebook. Bernie has his own camera, so he'll be making his own comments. And Bernie, if you want to stand on this side of me.
Okay.
And then come close to me. There.
Is here. Okay. Yeah, this is good. I can rest on this chair and hold on to this chair.
So, last time I was here, they guards battered me,
Oh, really?
tried to steal my equipment,
Mm-hmm.
phoned the police on me.
Mm-hmm.
The police were so disgusted
Yeah.
that they bought me a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a pleasant experience with the police.
Yeah.
We've had bad experiences with the police.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernie's had just terrible, terrible harassment from the provincial government for being blind.
Yeah, and having a child and not being willing to lay down for them to steal my child, kidnap my child by color of law. I went on APTN over it as well. It's called the apprehension experience. My face was blotted out though, that was a requirement. So if anybody wants to check it out, APTN, the apprehension experience, it's there from January of 2019. Yeah, I've been going through a lot with our fine government.
And we're doing public photography on a public easement. So nothing can happen to us because we're exercising our Canadian Charter of Rights for public photography. So we'll see how this audit goes. If anybody leaves me a comment on Facebook, it's a little hard to read, but I do have comments set up. So it's a beautiful day in Saskatoon. And again, we're at the Regional Psychiatric Center, Federal Penitentiary. And we're doing public photography on the sidewalk, exercising our Charter of Rights. And we'll let this audit go for between half an hour and 45 minutes. If we don't get a contact by then, we're not going to get a contact. And we'll give the Psychiatric Center a pass for not interfering with our Charter of Rights. But right now we're just filming cars coming and going from the Psych Center.
Hey Heidi,
Yep.
I pointed in the right way?
Yeah. Or you can turn a little bit to the right
This way?
and catch the road.
Okay, like about here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate if you hit subscribe and like. Like is the algorithm for YouTube. The more likes you have, the more chances of them randomly setting up your videos to see. And again, we're called Heidi Ho, Canadian Freedom Fighter. Bernie again is blind, so it'll be a good experience for him.
Yeah.
I see a lurker. A lurker is somebody that hangs back in the distance and watches this. So I'll see if I can zoom in on the lurker's vehicle. Well, he went to hide behind the trees.
He's already scoping us out, huh?
Under our Charter of Rights, we don't even have to talk to them. In fact, if you were subpoenaed as a Crown witness, you don't even have to talk to the Crown until you're on the witness stand.
That's good to know. It really is. Like they say, why write a statement, eh?
So when we do get a contact, I'm going to light up my medical marijuana. Hey, happy days on YouTube! So the lurker has driven away.
Oh, okay.
The last video I did was at the Saskatoon impound lot, and way hiding in the back were 4 police cars smashed up. I wonder why the police vehicles were in the Saskatoon impound lot. Were the cops impaired that the vehicles were seized?
Well, normally wouldn't they be taken to a special garage and repaired?
Yeah, they should have gone to SGIO and then either fixed or written off.
Somebody check into here. Yeah, this is a good traffic area. I see now where everybody's turning. Good.
Last time I was here, I drove all the way inside until I hit a restricted area and was surrounded by 2 guards. They wanted me to delete my video, and I told them they can forget that, but I'll be more than happy to leave the property.
Yeah.
But it is a public accessible road to visitors parking, so there was nothing wrong with being inside. But for safety, if they want us to leave, it's better than arguing with them. Unfortunately, in Saskatchewan, we don't have front license plates, so we don't get to record license plates until they've gone past us.
Yeah. How many guys stay out here at this correctional?
I'm not sure, but I had a friend that was an actual guard here, and he used to work part-time for me installing hardwood floors.
Right.
But he was like over 6 feet tall, so it was hard for him to do the job.
Oh yeah, bending over for the floors, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in rugs when I was able to see good. It's a little different to just use a kicker, but there's a lot of crawling around on your knees on that job.
Yeah. So Bernie's supposed to be flying to Toronto. He's just waiting for an appointment date to see if he can get stem cells replacement for his vision.
Yeah.
I have a severe disease called scleroderma. It's arthritis, and I'm just waiting to see about going to Calgary to see if stem cells will help me.
Oh yeah?
And I have an appointment with a surgeon in Regina, and just found out today that if you need to leave the province or leave the city, e-health will not contribute to your expenses. But Saskatchewan had their own provincial, interprovincial bus service, and after Greyhound quit servicing Saskatchewan, the province of Saskatchewan canned their interprovincial bus service. They said they were losing money. Well, what do we have people going to university for? To figure out that years ago they should have bought smaller 12-sitting vans to lower the costs, but instead they used it as an excuse to get rid of our interprovincial bustling bus service.
Yeah. Well, I know the bus service, without a bus service, it's pretty rough. Let's say in my example, I'm to be sent to Edmonton and I'm on blind disability. And if Saskatchewan doesn't want to pay for it when I'm actually get the appointment, and that's in order to isolate the chromosomes so that they can determine if the stem cells are to be injected or not, which again is done in Toronto. So there's a lot of steps I have to go through, and even transportation is going to become one of the issues, right?
Well, because Bernie's he's only 55, so he's on provincial disability. So under provincial disability, most likely 100%, I'm sure of, that they will have to pay for his transportation.
Okay.
Because his medical is covered until he turns 65.
Oh, that's because I'm on the disability.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm brand new to this handicapped world. I'd be about 4 years old. I've been blind about 4 years, that's it.
So Bernie knows what it was like to see. Now he only has vision under
10%.
10% under low lighting he can see, but in bright lighting
Zero.
he can't see anything.
Nothing at all, no. That's even with a pair of sunglasses. Even 2 pairs of sunglasses doesn't do it when it's a bright day. There's zero there, nothing. A lot of people don't understand that. I've been followed around on, you know, cloudy days when I'm out and about with my white cane. And I've even been asked if I was actually really blind or not on more than one occasion by a complete stranger.
Which is against the law anywhere in Canada for anybody to have a white cane.
Yeah, this here.
Unless they are legally blind. Now you can be legally blind and still have enough vision to drive a car.
That's true.
But Bernie's vision is below the point that he could drive a car.
Yeah, it's below the point where I could even walk safely without this stick. And matter of fact, I could have a guide dog anytime I want. Just by accepting it.
I'd go for the blind dog.
I think it might. I never had a place to live that I could keep the dog until just recently, where I'm at now.
Well, if you're renting, it's against the rentalsman's rules to deny you a guide dog.
That's also true, yeah. I just didn't want to get one in a small apartment, even though I probably could have. I wanted to wait. And now that I got a place, I'm going to look at it a little bit more. Because I have room for a dog now.
Yeah, Bernie's got a lovely place. I've been to his place quite a few times. And the hallways are wheelchair accessible. So he has complete access.
Yeah.
I'm gonna light up a joint. So I'm just gonna stabilize my camera here for a minute.
I can film you smoking it. Like,
sure.
just back up a little bit. I think you'll probably come in.
My medical license is good for 21 ounces in my possession at any time. And we also have the right that we don't have to buy from a licensed producer. We can buy on the black market because that's what our license states. But a lot of people don't know that, and their doctors fill out page 2 and force them to
They stream them, do they?
yeah, my opinion is that the doctors get a kickback from the medical producers. Otherwise, why would they insist on filling out page 2
Probably right.
when you can buy legally anywhere in Canada?
Well, that just makes the government the proverbial dope dealer.
Yeah, well, Health Canada used to be the dope dealer. Dropped my joint. with a medical marijuana license in Canada, you can smoke your medical marijuana anywhere that you can smoke a cigarette. Unfortunately for the private person, he can only smoke it on private property.
Yeah.
It's against the law for me to share a joint with anybody, even if they have a license, because you can't share your medical prescriptions.
That's pretty much why there should be compassion clubs like there used to be.
Yeah, Bernie would like to start his own compassion club.
Yes.
Hi on YouTube! So, today we took limousine service out here, and it was $46 to get here, which was quite a distance that we went. So it was fun to have limousine service.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And I enjoy exercising my constitutional right to film in public domain as well. It's a good thing that there is a right to do that, because look at what's happening right now with Mr. Floyd and the uprising in the States and the death of that poor man.
Yeah.
You know, that shows how valuable this public filming can be.
Yeah, the police officer that knelt on his neck, if he gets the death sentence, they should put weights on his neck until he dies. And the last thought that he'll be thinking of is what George went through, suffering to try to breathe.
That's right.
And that's almost too good of a punishment for him. But lethal injection is too quick. We need appropriate measures for the crime.
Yeah. Well, I know that usually when violators go to prison that have hurt children, they find justice quite quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe the same sort of thing could be administered here, where the killer is just allowed general population.
Well, the only thing I disagree with that on, Bernie, is we're allowing other people to take matters into their own hands when the government should have just given them the death sentence. And there's nothing worse than solitary confinement, because you don't talk to anybody, you don't see anybody, you don't do anything. No. You're by yourself. So I think solitary confinement is a good place for them.
I kind of think solitary might even be better than death, because death is also quick, because it comes to an end, right, at some point.
Yeah, all four of those people need slow death.
Yeah, like about 40 years in solitary.
Yeah.
That would be even better, I think.
I used to be a professional killer, and I would have no problem killing all four of those pigs. Oh, we have a lurker sneaking up behind those trees again.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's going to come this way. No, he's not coming this way. Maybe they learned their lesson from the last time I was here.
Possibly. How long ago was it?
It was somewhere in June or July, somewhere after August, because it was one of my earlier videos, and I just started this channel in August of 2019.
Okay.
The lurker is hiding right in front of me between the trees again. I don't know if I can zoom in on him. No, he's hiding behind that big tree. But that's okay. He can act like a coward. I wanted him to come out and contact us while I'm smoking this joint.
Well, I know I've had my charter rights of communication infringed by the government of Saskatchewan, and I'll be taking that complaint to the Ombudsman and the Human Rights Commission. I was going to do that today, but I guess that'll have to be done on Monday.
I suggest the Ombudsman because I got better results from the Ombudsman than I did human rights violations. But with Bernie being Native ancestry, he gets a lot more support from the Native community to help him.
I do.
So there's good benefits to being Native. In fact, I used to be a volunteer at a Native ancient settlement. It was just outside Mission, British Columbia. The location was called Hatzik Rock, and that ancient Indian village dates back 4,000 years older than the pyramids. There's that lurking guard again. This time I think I can zoom in on him.
My oldest daughter.
There he is in that black van.
Oh yeah. My oldest daughter goes to BC every year. She loves it. I think I'm going to tell her about Hatzik. I know she'd want to go and see it, and she will go see it as soon as I let her know about it.
Well, Arguelite rock is only available in the States from the state of Idaho.
Idaho?
And the Native Indians were trading as far down as Idaho. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to get the rock to make their spearheads and knives.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the lurker again. Now he's hiding behind the big Christmas tree.
Is he getting any closer?
No, he's about I'd say 300 feet away from us.
Oh, I remember when I could see, I'd be able to hit him with a stone almost. In fact.
Hey, I'm smoking a joint! What are you gonna do about it? Lurker!
Yeah, Compassion Club's what we need, and a sweat lodge in the city, not in the country, not on a reservation, and not on somebody's farm.
That sign that's in the center of the viewfinder, that's exactly where he's hiding. He's just backing up now. Yeah, this joint feels real good. Smells good too.
Too bad it's against the law to share, because I wouldn't have minded trying that, but I guess I'll get my own later.
Yeah.
Since we obey all laws, always.
Because Bernie's just a private citizen, he has to buy legal, but right on my license, if anybody's never looked closely at theirs, it says you may choose to buy from a licensed producer. So if you don't choose to buy from a licensed producer, you can buy anywhere you want. So why would you want to pay $600 an ounce when you can get it for a fraction of the cost
Well, I know those dispensaries by the gram, they're coming in at anywhere from
$10 to $20.
no higher, 13 to 17. They don't go down under 12.
Okay, well that's even more than $600 an ounce then.
Yeah, you cannot get a $10 gram from a legal dispensary unless they've got some kind of damaged goods that
Moldy.
they want to get rid of.
Moldy pot.
Moldy, yeah. You gotta pay average of around 15 bucks a gram with their taxes and whatnot to get that gram. Yes. And that's with a lot of pesticides and a lot of additives to that marijuana that is not healthy. It's not organic to begin with, the way it's grown.
Well, I got some blueberry strain pot that was grown outdoors, and it tastes really blueberry. And then I got some Kush that it was also grown outside. That's the Lurking Cops black van, I guess, extended van.
Okay.
Bernie can't see him, he's too far away. But I'd love...
And when you tell me 300 feet and a van, I can understand, yeah. You got him on camera too, probably, eh?
Yeah, I got him zoomed in. I live in Mission, British Columbia too, so I fly back and forth about every 6 weeks, and I always enjoy going through security of whether they're going to say anything about my pot.
Well, I've had a medicinal license actually since '09, but I haven't renewed it.
So, just a minute, Bernie. So, the cop found a new hiding spot just in between the tree and their official sign. But he's hiding behind that tree.
Yeah.
But I also live in Mission, British Columbia. So,
You might be calling for backup.
yeah, they need about 7 or 8 people for backup. Bernie's got a cane, and we have cameras that shoot 60 frames a second. That's a pun for 60 bullets a second.
Right. That's a lot of shutter space. That blueberry smells quite nice.
So, just a minute, I gotta... light up another joint. My prescription is for 20 grams a day.
Well, you need that for pain, right?
Yeah, I have 5 herniated discs and 4 compressed discs in my neck. And then the first year he was a pain specialist that my doctor sent me to, and the first year he only gave me 300 grams for a license, and you have to renew every year. So the second year I asked him, could you increase this prescription by a couple ounces? I wanted to be able to get to a pound a pot. So anyways, he delayed answering me, Bernie, and then he looked at me in the eyes and he said, no, but I'll double it.
I see.
So I can't remember if his first name was Herschel? Cecil. Almost like the cartoon, Beanie and Cecil.
Okay.
And some doctors charged actually extra for the visit. And in the whole 10 years that I saw him, he never charged me anything more than the BC Health paid.
That's good to have a good doctor. Is he still practicing?
No, he retired. So he wrote me a letter outlining how long I've been with them, and that he would have absolutely no problem to recommend this amount for my licensing.
That's good. Well, I had medicinal from a certain doctor in 09, and I used it in, I never actually used it until, no, that's not right. I started trying to get it in 09. And
Hey, we're getting camera back. We call that a cam back.
Somebody had a camera?
Yeah. When they videotape us, it's called a cam back.
So it took me till, I believe it was until 2015 when I got the medicinal marijuana license, and I only kept it for about a year, and I never renewed it again because I found it too expensive. I couldn't afford the prices, just like the dispensary.
But you see, you're licensed, but you didn't know it, Bernie. If it was the, what year did you say?
In 15, I was buying off that Prairie Plants.
All right, well then your license for your prescription looks the same as mine, but it says in print, you may choose to buy from a license. So you could have bought anywhere that you could have bought it the cheapest.
Well, I could, then what do I need to renew that with Prairie Plants?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still there if I want to be.
Well, there's our lurker. He's moving again.
See, like I say, I just didn't bother because of the cost involved with the dispensaries and with the government dealer, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. It's not grown right, and it's got too many unhealthy additives.
When I got my license in 2003, Health Canada was one of the providers of your pot. So you would phone Health Canada every 3 weeks and reorder your prescription. So then in 2013 they decided to stop being drug dealers, and then made it legal for producers. But on our original Health Canada license, it said you may buy from a licensed producer, and the phrase legally maybe has no holdings. It's the same thing as saying if you want to, but I don't have to, and I don't choose. But in 2013 they sent over 55,000 letters to registered users or prescriptions. I apologize for users, but on the return envelope was medical marijuana, Health Canada. Well, they just divulged your personal medical information.
Yeah, by putting it on the outside,
Yeah, they could have put Health Canada, nobody would have had a complaint. So since
confidentiality, where's the
yeah, they breached confidentiality. And in 2013 we started a class action lawsuit. If you were a member during that time period, you can still register for your class action lawsuit. One law firm is doing the litigation, and another law firm is doing disbursements. But we're still fighting in court. But eventually we'll win. The government keeps coming up with excuses. We're ready to proceed, but they just want to delay. But in the end, it'll just cost them more money. The longer it persists, the more money it costs.
They'd be smarter off if they just did the right thing and they didn't try to always have things their way even when they're wrong.
Well, if they wanted to call themselves Health Canada workers, and remember, public employees work for us. We don't work for them. They work for us. And it's against their policy not to identify themselves by name and if they have an employee number.
Yeah, same as a cop or a soldier, right?
Yeah, but they have to identify by name. Hey, welcome to Facebook and YouTube Live. I didn't get your face though, but forgot what I was saying.
About that class action suit.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be settled soon. But oh, I know what I was going to say. If they want to work in the public sector, well, know your job. And if your job's Health Canada, what kind of an imbecile are you that you don't know the policy of our medical information is top secret?
Unfortunately, a lot of things are top secret now. I think we're moving towards censoring free speech as well as making, you know, everybody more or less just fit in the way things are. Like it's very oppressive, very oppressive, very surveillance centered, no free speech, a lot of government control. You know, I mean, that's the trend we're going in.
I keep misplacing my lighter. Sorry, I'm gonna have to set my camera down again.
You know, my dad, for example, was a soldier who put his life on the line for our great country, and I love Canada. But this isn't the country that the veterans fought for. They didn't fight to have a country that has censorship laws, laws against free speech, such